The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Trinidad and Tobago now stands at 60. The number was disclosed by Health Minister Terrence Deyalsingh at a press briefing in Port of Spain this morning. Minister Deyalsingh said that 44 positive cases came from the cruise ship passengers and that there was still very limited exposure to community spread. A total of 370 samples have been tested as of this morning. Continuing with COVID-19, President of the Public Services Association, Watson Duke, is questioning what government plans in order to ensure that freelance workers are taken care of in light of this COVID-19 crisis. Mr. Duke was speaking at a NATO press conference this morning.
The government has to ensure that the freelancers and the self-employed are taken into that group of social care that they will look after and ensure that they receive a certain amount of money.
Additionally, he said frontline workers need personal protective equipment or PPE.
The government has to ensure that the freelancers and the self-employed are taken into that group of social care that they will look after and ensure that they receive a certain amount of money.
Taking a different view on the issue, businessman Visham Babwa is concerned with the upcoming deadline for payment of quarterly taxes. He says that with the interruption of business flow due to COVID-19 measures, government has to take into consideration the slowing of business revenue.
Businesses are closed for more than one reason. Some had to close by force, and some had to close because the law was passed, where bars and restaurants and all these places. So now the government is asking these same businesses to pay quarterly taxes, that is business levy, refund, and corporation taxes, which is due at the end of March here. You know, it is very unfair that if these businesses have to remain closed, where are they going to get this money now to pay these taxes?
He is calling on government to consider the weight of these legal requirements and waive corporate taxes for this period. This, however, Mr. Babwa says, is not the only issue for business. He says payment of port fees has become atrocious.
When we import goods, we have 5 free days in the port to clear the goods. After that, you have to pay what you call demurrage if it's in a container, and you have to pay storage fee, which is like a rent in the port. And it goes up. Every day the goods stay in the port. Now we have a slowdown in processing of documentation because people have their children at home, so some parents stay at home, some people are not well, so you have a slowdown in the workforce, and that has a knock-on effect in the time limit in getting your goods.
He said one businesswoman he knows who imported an ambulance is now required to pay an additional $25,000 in port fees.
All this got really bad, and we have to clear the goods. They should look at assisting people, because if we are not selling, businesses are closed, where are you going to get this money now to pay this extra port charges? And we have our suppliers, because this is a world issue. Our suppliers could only be lenient up to a point. We have to pay them. And the government recently announced that they are going to put $100 million US into the system, but that would go into essential services like medical or pharmaceuticals or food.
Mr. Babwa says he is calling on the government to look closely into these thorny problems which businesses now face.